Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel Battleverse. Today we dive deep into one of the most shocking military developments that has raised eyebrows across the globe. The news that 3 Russian submarines have reportedly trapped a U.S. Navy carrier strike group has sent ripples through the defense world. The very thought of one of America's most powerful naval assets, a carrier surrounded and hunted by stealthy undersea predators, creates a situation that military experts never wanted to see. In this review and analysis, we will break down the exterior, the interior, the performance, the safety features, the unique selling points, and finally conclude what this all means for global security and the possibility of a near-term war. The exterior of the situation begins with the U.S. carrier itself. A supercarrier, often the pride of the United States Navy, is essentially a floating fortress. It stretches over 1,000 feet in length, towering over the waves like a steel city at sea. With a nuclear-powered engine that allows it to sail endlessly without the need for refueling, the carrier is designed to project power anywhere in the world. Its massive deck carries dozens of fighter jets, surveillance aircraft, and helicopters, making it an airborne arsenal. On the outside, the carrier appears nearly invincible, guarded by destroyers, cruisers, and submarines of its own. But even this fortress of steel and technology faces a deadly challenge when confronted by silent hunters beneath the ocean: Russian submarines. When we turn to the Russian submarines, their exterior design reflects decades of stealth innovation. Sleek, hydrodynamic hulls allow them to slip silently beneath the waves. The modern Russian subs are equipped with sonar, absorbing coatings, reducing their acoustic signature, and making them almost invisible to detection systems. Their streamlined structures are not about beauty but about survival and lethality. Each carries the mark of a machine built not for visibility but for invisibility, built to stalk and ambush from the shadows. The exterior form is intimidating yet deceptive, because beneath that outer shell lies an even deadlier interior capability. Inside the carrier, the interior represents not just a ship but a floating command center of unmatched complexity. Within its massive body are multiple decks that house thousands of sailors, pilots, engineers, and specialists. From living quarters to command bridges, from hangar bays filled with aircraft to operations rooms filled with glowing screens, the interior of a carrier is a small city at sea. This enormous vessel is designed to sustain long missions, provide comfort to its crew, and coordinate global operations. Advanced computer systems feed commanders with data from satellites, drones, and radars. The heart of the interior is the Combat Information Center, where officers constantly monitor threats, tracking aircraft, missiles, and ships. In this immense floating fortress, strategy and execution meet. However, the same interior complexity can also be a vulnerability. In a submarine confrontation, the entire interior network must respond instantly, as one mistake can turn the pride of a nation into a sinking relic of history. By contrast, the interior of a Russian submarine is small, tight, and focused solely on stealth and lethality. Crew members work in confined spaces, moving through narrow corridors, with every inch of the interior optimized for war. Control rooms glow under dim red lights. Sonar operators sit with headphones pressed tightly, listening for the faint hum of enemy propellers. Missile silos are embedded within the submarine, housing some of the most devastating weapons in existence. From nuclear-tipped torpedoes to hypersonic missiles capable of striking a carrier group from hundreds of miles away, the submarine's interior is a stark reminder of its deadly role. It does not carry luxury or comfort. It carries death waiting quietly in the depths. And when 3 such submarines are said to surround a carrier, the interior of the American vessel suddenly feels less like a fortress and more like a trap waiting to be sprung. The performance of both sides tells us how such a scenario could unfold. A U.S. carrier strike group is designed to dominate. With its aircraft, it can launch attacks on land, sea, or air. It can neutralize enemy bases, support ground forces, and enforce blockades. Its performance is unmatched when facing conventional navies, but submarines operate in a different domain. Russian submarines are engineered to perform silently, lurking beneath layers of ocean thermals, where sonar detection is weakest. Their performance lies in patience, stealth, and sudden strikes. A single submarine can fire torpedoes capable of sinking even the mightiest of carriers. The performance equation in such a standoff is not about firepower alone, but about who can detect and strike first. Safety features on both sides are critical. The U.S. carrier comes with layers of defense destroyers with advanced sonar systems, anti-submarine helicopters, and torpedoes to hunt undersea threats. The carrier itself is armored, with watertight compartments designed to keep it afloat even after a strike. The safety features also include electronic warfare systems that can jam incoming missiles. Yet, against submarines, no safety is absolute. Russian subs themselves have safety mechanisms to survive depth charges, evade detection, and launch countermeasures against torpedoes. Both sides carry nuclear deterrence, meaning that one wrong move could escalate beyond conventional safety into global destruction. The unique selling points of this confrontation highlight why the world is alarmed. For Russia, the unique selling point of its submarines is their ability to level the playing field against America's overwhelming naval superiority. Submarines give Russia a way to threaten even the largest of U.S. assets without matching the number of carriers or surface ships. For the U.S., the unique selling point of its carriers is global power projection. No other nation can launch such overwhelming force across oceans. But when these unique powers collide, the balance of global security shakes. The Russian subs surrounding the U.S. carrier strike group symbolize not just a military encounter, but a test of wills, a test of strategy, and a potential trigger for a conflict that could spiral into something far greater than either side intended. If we imagine the price of such a standoff, it is not just measured in billions of dollars. The U.S. carrier itself costs around $13 billion to build, not including the billions more for its air wing and support ships. Russian submarines cost far less individually, yet their ability to neutralize a $13 billion ship makes them a priceless strategic tool. The real price, however, lies in the geopolitical consequences. If a confrontation escalates, the price could be global markets collapsing, nations choosing sides, and potentially millions of lives at risk if nuclear weapons are drawn into the equation. In conclusion, the situation of 3 Russian submarines reportedly trapping a U.S. Navy carrier strike group is more than just a military chess move. It is a warning of how fragile peace can be when great powers test each other in dangerous waters. The carrier represents the pinnacle of American strength, while the submarines represent the silent, shadowy threat of Russian resolve. Together, they paint a picture of a future where one mistake, one miscalculation could lead to catastrophe. The world watches, hoping this remains a simulation of strategy and not a prelude to a war that could engulf the planet. For now, the standoff serves as a reminder that even the strongest armor can face deadly predators beneath the surface, and that in modern warfare, silence can sometimes be more dangerous than sound.